right. Okay. Welcome to everybody to Gray Shot Down. I'm Andy, your host, and it's been asked to me a couple of times to show you how the heck I cleaned my Model 3 and the Teslas here at our house. Let me show you. I have a fancy-dancy little retractable vacuum that is on a 50-foot hose, and you can kind of see here that I've actually have the vacuum going into another room because I stole something from Tested. Adam Savage, think of Mythbusters, that guy. He said he ended up putting his air compressor in another room, and it gave me the idea of putting a vacuum in another room because I had that ability here at our house. So it makes something that goes ooh to something that I think goes ooh, which I think you'll agree is much nicer because you can see that I can actually still hold a conversation while that thing's roaring in the other room. I'll show you. Ooh. Hello. Quite loud. So, here's the fun part. Let me turn this off for just a second. Let me move the cameras. I'll get reset up, turn this thing off, and I'll show you some tips as far as what you can do at home to perhaps have this kind of a setup at your house. So here's my plan. My plan is I have these cameras set up to be able to cut away to while the boring bits are happening, and I'm actually doing the work in the garage. But it's a multi-camera setup, so who knows? What I'll do is I'll frequently stop and use this camera to tell you about kind of some tips and tricks of what I have found along the way. First off, here we go. I know it's going to bring up jokes of spelunking, but a headlamp is quite nice for those of you that are half blind like me in the audience. Step one. Step two. I'm going to go get the here we go. Step two. I have knee pads. I'm sure some of you like knee pads as well, but they help when you're trying to get low on this car. Those are the personal effects out of the way. Now, let's move on to the actual tools that we're going to need for this job. I like to use spray away glass cleaner. It works really well on your tinted windows as well as the actual glass itself. Great product. The other thing we're going to use is, ironically enough, Armor All. The original, it works well. And for these products, separate microfiber cloths. Now, take note of your microfiber cloths. Not all microfiber cloths are created equally. What you'll notice about this microfiber cloth is it actually has, how do you want to call this? You know how like on some microfiber cloths, what you'll see is that they have this like stitched edge, whereas this one, it has an actual rolled over piece of fabric that's then stitched into it as well. Why I like that? It doesn't scratch. Okay, next tools of the trade. I have from Home Depot, and I'll link all this stuff in the comments down below, but Home Depot has a really cool rigid vacuum accessories kit. Don't quote me on the price, I think it's about $40. It's not too expensive. But in it comes a crevice tool, which this thing's pretty cool. It's flexible, so it kind of bends to the seats that you're trying to get it into in certain spots. Probably won't use this, I'll leave this behind, but this is good for if you're trying to get softer items or things that you need to be a little bit more delicate with. It's just a bristle brush. Then these are going to be my main attachments that I'll use today. Bailey's dog pet carrier is in the back, and trust me, she's been shedding a lot lately, so this is going to be something that it's going to take me a hot minute or two to actually get that clean. So with that, I'm going to use the other two attachments that came in the kit. There's a harder bristle triangle brush, and then a softer bristle triangle brush here. What do I use them for? This one, great on the seats, dashboard, that kind of stuff. This one, use it on your floorboards. Works really, really well to break up some of the debris that your shoes will leave behind. So let me run out the vacuum hose here and we'll get rocking and rolling. And like I said, probably make it a time-lapse video with all these cameras. What I am hoping here is that the noise level of the vacuum is enough to where you can still hear me over the suction. I think the answer to that is going to be yes. We're going to find out. A good pro tip is if you don't close these doors all the way, you won't constantly turn on and off the vehicle. So if you're listening to your music while you like to perhaps work in the garage, make sure to leave that door cracked. For those pet owners out there, the Tesla pet carrier or pet car cover, I can't even remember what they call this thing, but it's on the Tesla shop. It fits the S, 3, and the Y perfectly. And what's really nice about it is even the door panels are weighted so that you just clip this onto the door and it hangs beautifully. So what I like to do is do all of my vacuuming and then go back and do my polishing and apply the Armor All. And the one thing I'm going to take advantage of real quick while I can is because my vacuum hose is on a reel, I can actually reach all corners of my garage with it. So I use it to vacuum. All right. I'm only 11 and a half minutes in. We're doing pretty good. If I didn't have to re-roll the poo bags, I probably would be moved on to the next task by now. But this is almost kind of a real-world test in some ways. This is Doggone Sci-Fi's car, so not my daily driver. But we are taking it on a road trip this weekend, so I figured why not use this as a good opportunity to clean the car and see how long it takes. 14 minutes. So I realize my time is just at 20 minutes for vacuuming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here and resume this when I start actually working on the car again. My prediction was this was going to be about a 30-minute task, not a problem. But I want to take the opportunity real quick to vacuum the rest of the shop up with utilizing said vacuum attachment. So that's what we're going to do real quick. On to the final pieces here. I'm going to go Armor all the seats down. I recommend using this slightly softer side. It's actually the polished side. If your seats are really dirty, use the more abrasive or the rough side to your microfiber cloths. But by using the polished side, you can simply just spray on your Armor All directly onto your microfiber towel and start essentially cleaning off your seats. And I use it all over the door panel as well. All right. I debated showing this trick to the viewers at home, but I'm going to do it anyway, because if you mess up your car, it's your own damn fault. So, here's my little tip. If you like to clean your windows, and you notice that at the bottom down here, there we go. You notice that at the bottom down here, what happens is this window drops down because it's a frameless window, right? Okay, here's my tip. Take a Phillips screwdriver, and on the latch portion on the door, what you're going to do is you're going to slide it through like the thing closed. Now, this is why I was hesitant to tell you guys to do this at home, because if you don't release the door before you close it, in other words, if you don't push this button, the window won't drop back down to clear the frame and you'll shatter the glass. But, seeming as how I know what I'm doing, what's neat about this is the window will pop up and then you'll actually be able to, hello, the window will pop up. What's neat about this is that the window can pop up and it'll give you access to that part that you're missing when you go clean your glass. But again, just remember to always make sure to push the button before closing the door. But it makes cleaning this glass so much easier because you can get all the fingerprints, all the smudges, then again, push the button, and then you can close it. Phillips screwdriver. Well, you guys, let me show you what it looks like to have a nice clean interior on a 2018 Model 3. I actually don't know the mileage on this car, so let me look at it for us. $75,000 miles. 75,000 miles, original owner, hi. And this is what a detail job looks like on the inside of it. The only interior issues that I have, I know I've seen this on other vehicles, but my armrest is bubbling. Otherwise, I'd say it's held up really well. These are the front seats, obviously the white interior. And I changed out the white dash for the wood dash, which I like much better. Here's the back. Again, this is a 2018 car. So 30 minutes to a nice clean car. Well, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to do all of the usual social media pleasantries. I don't even need to say it anymore because I think we all know that it's, liking, commenting, subscribing. Oh wait, I said it. Well, I'm Andy. This is the Gray Shot Down channel. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you learned something from my setup here to kind of see how this could apply to your setup at your house. I think by having a ShopVac hose reel concept, it makes it much more easy to grab it, turn it on, and go clean something up. And when you have cars that you want to maintain and keep clean all the time, this is definitely something that makes that much easier. It eases the barrier to entry. So with that, we'll see you next time.